Ladies and gentlemen, now in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the full buffed up abilities for Civil Warrior, and all of these buffs should be going live on Monday, but worst case scenario will be live by Wednesday. And Civil Warrior's buff is looking very interesting. It looks like in longer fights, man, the fury that he can get is going to stack up to an absolutely insane level, but also I do have some questions and concerns about like how practical he's going to be to play, because it seems like you're going to have to do a lot of dashing back and holding block, and I'm not too sure if that's going to be a little bit annoying or if it's going to fit well into the rotation, and we'll talk about that as well. But also his heal block off the heavy has been buffed as well, so it's got double duration, and that's always been like a nice little bit of the character. His heal block at the moment is, I think, only like 3-5 seconds, but yeah, it's being increased to 10 seconds, and also he's gaining new immunity to stagger and nullify, so as a defender, he's going to be more annoying for Mystic champions, but also most Cosmic champions nowadays have access to so much armor break, and also Azure is getting buffed as well to have even more armor break. So yeah, I don't think he's going to be the worst defender to deal with, just a little bit more annoying for certain champions. So his combination of Super Soldier Serum and also Advanced Stark Tech gives him full immunity to nullify and stagger effects. I'm curious to see if this works for nodes like Buffet as well. It potentially might do, but yeah, I'm curious to see if it does interact with that. Also, for each armor up buff active on Civil Warrior, reduce the opponent's bleed and poison ability accuracy by 25%. And this mainly works really well as a defender. I think playing this champion, most of the time, you want to convert the armor up buffs into his brand new Fury mechanic. But yeah, I think this mainly works as a defender in all fairness, man, because again, playing this champion now, you're going to be converting your armor up buffs into Fury constantly, but this may occasionally catch like a bleed or poison from a mechanical node, but again, it's nowhere near as valuable in comparison to the majority of tech champions that are robots that have like the double immunity to bleed and poison on offense. So any armor up buffs that Civil Warrior gets provide him with 233 armor and also last for 11 seconds as well, and every 5th basic attack that either champion throws has a 100% chance to grant one armor up buff to Civil Warrior. So you're going to see one buff every single combo there. Again, more annoying on defense there because more armor and immunity to nullify, but again, if you can armor break, it's going to be a pretty good time there. Also, I think Corvus Glaive might have a lot of fun with this as well, man, because again, more armor to reverse there, and also dashing back and holding block for 1.2 seconds is how you access the new Fury mechanic. So this converts all armor up buffs into Fury buffs, giving him just under 300 attack rating for 12 seconds. However, these Fury buffs have a maximum of 50 stacks and are refreshed each time an armor up buff is converted this way. So assuming you got like a maxed out 5-star Civil Warrior and you get up to 50 of these Fury buffs, again, it's going to take some time to do, but possible in longer form content, that is almost 14,000 additional attack there. So yeah, the damage output potential is absolutely insane. However, the thing is, these Fury buffs, they only last for 12 seconds, and they are refreshed each time an armor up buff is converted this way, which means on average you need to dash back and hold block like every kind of 2 combos, I would assume, so every like 8 to 10 seconds. So it might be a little bit awkward in some scenarios, but I think if there's like a easy special one to bait out, this might weave quite well into the rotation of doing like 2 combos and then kind of baiting out special attack, dashing back, holding block for the duration of it, converting your armor into Fury. So yeah, I think his playstyle might take a little bit of getting used to, because it seems like, again, you are going to have to pay a lot of attention to keeping these Fury buffs active a lot of the time, and if you do lose them and have a bad interval, again, it's going to be a longer ramp up, but hopefully the damage payoff is really going to be worth it. So yeah, it looks like he's going to have some massive damage output potential. I am just a bit generally concerned as to the you know, the practicality of keeping up these Fury buffs and maintaining. But again, I don't think it's going to be the worst thing in the world. I think in just some scenarios, it may be a little bit awkward, but gaining like 1 armor up buff guaranteed every 5 hits, it means that in between like holding block and getting your Furies, as long as you can do 1 combo, then you have the fuel in order to, dash back and, you know, get another Fury and refresh your Fury as well. As we mentioned a little bit earlier as well, as heavy attacks now have a 100% chance to inflict a 10-second heal block debuff, and you can also pause this heal block debuff whenever you use a special attack for 6 seconds. So yeah, he's got really good access to blocking out healing there, and combined with some potentially massive damage, again, this could be really nice. But also now when launching special attacks, it pauses all armor up buffs on Civil Warrior for 20 seconds, so there's a little bit less stress and pressure to convert them, but I guess you still, like, the main timer you're going to be looking at is the Fury buff timer, and I don't believe it pauses that, or anything pauses that, at least to the best of my understanding so far. So yeah, if this also paused the Fury buff timer, man, this would be amazing. But if it's just armor up buffs and not the Fury buffs, then yeah, I don't think it's going to have too much use. Mainly just going to be annoying on defense, I think, for that line there. And also the special one is still the same, so you gain up to 4 armor up buffs. But now with the Fury conversion as well, this is like every special one after the conversion is like 1,000 and a bit additional attack. So yeah, it's some really nice damage ramp up there. And also the special 2 has a 100% chance to burn 2 bars of power. So yeah, this actually has a bit of a buff in comparison to its current version, which I think is like 60% of the opponent's current power currently. So yeah, the special 2's got a nice little upgrade, but also the special 3, the opponent is passively power locked during this attack, and there's a 100% chance to inflict a power drain, removing 1 bar of power. And if you get your opponent to 0 power, they also receive a power lock debuff for 14 seconds, preventing them from gaining any power. So yeah, if you're in a scenario where you can just bait out like a special attack and then dump this in retaliation, this could be really, really fun to play around with, because you just backdraft for days. I guess like taking advantage of like the 14-second power lock though, with his rotation of having to, like, you know, hold block for 1.2 seconds at least once every 12 seconds, you're not going to really get maximum advantage of this. So yeah, the special 3 might have its uses and scenarios for finishing off some fights there. But yeah, I just wish like the Fury buff duration was a little bit longer, because it seems like very demanding in order to refresh it, and it seems like, again, the tight duration means you can't take advantage of the special 3 maybe as much as you would like to, unless you want to lose those buffs there. So yeah, I'm a little bit interested to see how that one turns out. And also the signature ability Arc Shield, so he begins the fight with 2 indefinite armor up buffs, and also blocking during the opponent's special attack inflicts them with a passive weakness, reducing their attack rating by 60%. And this is also true if Civil Warrior was blocking prior to the special 3, so he's got some really solid tankiness against any special attack, including the special 3 as well. I think you've still got to be a little bit careful from like secondary effects like stun that come after a special 3, but again, for certain special 3s, man, this could be really, really nice. And also going down to his synergies, I don't really think there's anything too exciting, but he's gaining some new attack synergies for Captain America. I'm not too sure if these are like all separate ones, for example, and you can build a team with like all the Captain Americas and get like massive attack rating bonus. That could be very, very interesting. So yeah, I'm not too sure exactly how that's going to work, man, but seems pretty damn cool there. So just to show you some of the differences and go through his current abilities. So again, the heal block off the heavy has double duration. Instead of, replacing it with a 10-second one, it's going to pause it, because you've already got 10-second on the base. You still gain the 2 armor up buffs there, which is really, really nice. Also, the offensive ability accuracy for bleed and poison has now been increased to 25%, up from 15. But I think this was, all ability accuracy instead of just bleed and poison that is now. So maybe actually this makes him a a bit less annoying to fight as long as you've got an armor break champion, I think. But yeah, you can't nullify him anymore, so against Mystic champions, he's going to be really, really annoying to fight if you are bringing in a Mystic. So this all attacks an 8% chance to gain an armor up buff for 7 seconds is being replaced to you gain an armor up buff every 5 hits. So yeah, it's kind of like upping this to 20%, man. It is a really, really big increase, and you can see a lot of his base armor stuff is 7 seconds, so this actually goes up to 11 seconds now. So yeah, actually he does have a line here about the poison and bleed damage resistance, so I think, at least to the best of my understanding, the offensive ability accuracy one is being removed. So yeah, I think that's more of a good thing than anything, because if this was still on the character, man, he'd be so annoying on defense with his new abilities, I would assume, even making like armor breaks fail to trigger as well. So special one is exactly the same, but you've got what is it, longer armor ups now. The special 2 is 2 bars of power, so it's yeah, a consistent drain that's much, much higher instead of 60% of the target's max power, because like best case scenario, that's what is it, just under 2 bars of power. And also on the special 3, 100% chance to power drain, depleting 55% of the target's max power, and if the target is reduced to 0 power from this attack, they also become power locked for 6 seconds. So the power drain itself is going down, but the power lock duration is going up quite significantly, and also the new special 3 doesn't give any power from it as well. So yeah, if you do want to take advantage of the power lock of the special 3, which at least in my opinion really is the main function if you want to go for it, the special 3 is going to be so much better than it currently is. But I also think it's going to be like a little bit difficult to really make work, I guess maybe in Havoc matchups as well. Once you got the Fury stacked up, power locking him is quite nice for managing him. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it works, man. But yeah, I'm excited for the Civil Warrior buff. I'm just a little bit cynical as to how practical he's going to be, because at least on paper to me, man, like having to hold block, you know, once every like 8 to 10 seconds seems like a lot of time holding block, but hopefully he's really gonna have the damage output to make it pay off. So I'm excited, I'm interested. Civil Warrior has always had some of the smoothest animations in the game. I remember like first picking this guy up, I swear it was like 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago. He's actually quite an old character now, man. He just felt amazing to play, but was always such a massive noodle. But with this up to like 14,000 additional Fury damage bonus, again, could be really, really nice. And on top of that damage, he's also got blocking out healing, power control as well. So yeah, could be a little bit interesting. And also armor ups to deal with Havoc in certain nodes as well. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on the buffed up version of Civil Warrior in the comments section below, and if you did enjoy today's breakdown, please do smash that like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. But aside from that, thank you all very much for watching, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.